ready for another lesson?
Still don't know how I feel about there being like two intros when we play that song, because you get out of the regular one, the our everyday one, and then you go right back into another song. It always feels a little awkward, but also more genuine that way.
It's just funny because that is just a stock song on this mixer that anyone that has access.
Anyone has heard before if they've ever pressed that button that owns that mixer.
Well, you know how Conor McGregor comes into Sinead O'Connor, then that turns into Hypnotized by Biggie.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a little bit, two very not congruent things being put together, and it's the contrast that really brings us all together.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I have my buddy like make us two, so we'll make us a second one where like we mix them together, like it just goes straight in.
That would be I was gonna say a good use of Patreon money.
What Patreon money? We are losing money making this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll hopefully
it's a labor of love, folks.
Yeah, of course. Hopefully we'll get that return.
Consistency is key.
Well, anyway, welcome back to Back Row Banter.
Says Twitch affiliate Ty.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Back Row Banter, your favorite casual movie talk podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Schwartz, and on today's episode, we have more on the furious feud between Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel. No trailer talk this week. The new streaming list is very light after the heavy first week of the year, or I guess first day of the year last week. Very nice list back there, but
Happy New Year's.
Late this week. Yeah, Happy New Year's. First episode of 2022, of course.
Brand new.
I was thinking about this right before we started recording, but we've only been doing this podcast for about a year and a half now. Actually, exactly a year and a half. Basically, from tomorrow would be a year and 6 months. But
yeah.
Sounds right.
Anyway, but this is now the third year that Back Row Banter has existed.
Yes, you're correct.
2021, and now 2022. Yeah.
Were we a quarantine?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. We have been kind of a COVID invention.
July 2020.
Sure. When I look back on COVID in the future, and I'm telling my grandchildren, I'll be like, I didn't just cry in my bed.
No.
Yeah.
Started a podcast.
We started a podcast.
Yeah, we had some fun. We were somewhat productive, and
I didn't just gain a shit ton of weight and not work out for almost a year.
Yeah.
Although that did also happen. But anyway, we'll get to our watching, of course. And the main review for the episode is Pig, a reschedule from a couple weeks ago when we were a little bit busy. But before we get to any of that, I'm joined today, of course, by Nomad Nathaniel.
Hello.
Gingrich.
I think I was just thinking in German. Do you think this movie's called Schwein?
I would assume so.
Like Schwein. And then I just thought that used to be a very in vogue word for a while, at least in like on the playground.
Swine?
Yeah, we used to call people swines for a while in like 5th grade for some reason. It was an outbreak at my school.
Would you say it was a swine flu?
It could have been. Yeah. Just like you're swine. I don't know why.
Okay. I feel like I probably had some bit of that, but there were definitely like words like that, and
they were just like cultural little like pockets.
For like 4 months, 6 months at a time. It was just slang. It was just slang for like that amount of time.
Popped up for no reason.
Yeah, and then disappeared, never to be remembered. How you doing, man? How are you doing, Nomad?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm Nomad Nathaniel. What up, folks? I'm finally getting to do Pig. It has been a little bit. We've been threatening it for a while now. This was my pick this year for my birthday week, which we were all too busy to attend. But now we're here. We're through Ghost Week, as I was referring to last week. And
is that between Christmas and New Year's?
Yes. It's a
blip. It's a blip week.
Phantasma week.
Yeah, you blip through. But we're here, man.
We're here now. Who else is here with us, though?
We're joined also by Teacup Ty, Tyler Vidalis.
The old teacup.
The old teacup pig.
Ah.
Yes, sir.
I mean, they're cute. I'm down.
Would you guys ever have a pig for a pet?
No.
Maybe if it was a truffle pig and got me money.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd never say never, right? They seem intelligent.
Sure.
Not a chance.
I probably would say, yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Depends on the circumstances that I'm taking this.
They
pig
got to
under.
smell, right?
I would imagine. Yeah. How do they? They can't be. Can they be potty trained? Do they go? Can you at least get them to the litter box? Like, how does that situation work?
They're supposed to be pretty smart, I imagine. Or
I think.
I've heard.
I think so. So
In my imagination, they're smart.
hopefully they could figure out some kind of potty training situation. Because if not, then I think the answer is no.
Okay.
I do not want that at all.
If you can't housebreak a pig, you don't want it as a pet.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that's where I stand. And we're joined.
I think that's most animals. I'll be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's right. We're also joined today by the animal lover himself, Big Boar BlakeHolder.
Hey, I like it, man. I like the animal shout out.
Of course, dude. You definitely number one animal fan on the squadron.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Everything's good. Are pigs mammals? Is that what they'd be called, right?
I think.
Guess.
I can't think of them being
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
I think so.
Cool. It's the only thing I really had to say. I thought I had another fact about pigs, but I don't know too much about pigs. Besides, bacon tastes great.
Oh, okay. I guess that's one way of being pro pig is the bacon side of things.
And they're cute when they're little too. I'll definitely vouch
little
that,
teacup pigs.
for sure.
Would
Yeah.
you get that one as a pet?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I can't even be mad because I don't even know if I would. I'm kind of on the fence about it. Really does come down to the whole potty training thing.
Yeah.
They're just kind of a weird animal, aren't they?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, they're mammals, but it's like, I don't know. I don't act like other animals.
I wonder what their evolutionary purpose was. How do you get the pig?
Yeah,
to be
like,
eaten.
what do they do for us? Like in an economics, or I don't know, in the ecosystem.
Yeah,
I should
that's
say.
what I was about to say.
Like,
On the
what do they do?
ecological side.
Well,
of
that'd be
things.
that's any barnyard animal, though, isn't it? Like a cow. What does a cow do? It's just, or they're like deer.
give us
They're just
milk,
out there
though.
to just be a thing.
Okay, but how did they evolve to that?
How did anything evolve to be anything?
Well, animals evolved to their environment, but what environment led to cows being just so big?
I don't know. They're just
slow?
herd animals, like any
Okay.
herd animal or dinosaur, I would suppose.
I guess. Dinosaur.
pigs
Did you just say
domesticated?
dinosaur?
But yeah, I mean, eventually. I'm talking about like an evolutionary
Oh,
thing.
okay. Sorry.
Eventually, we were fish move in schools, and there's prey and herbivore fish out there,
Okay.
and then they got onto land like dinosaur type things, and then
Sure.
mammals evolved, but they were still herd animals too,
Sure.
and then we domesticated some of them and started drinking milk out of them
guess,
like a bunch of
yeah.
weirdos.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess a lot. I mean, how much of their evolution do you think comes from the domestication part of things?
I
Do you
don't
think
know.
do you think we got them bigger, what selective evolution or what is that called?
Breeding.
No, not breeding. Well, yes, breeding, but where you select the better genes of each,
Eugenics.
No. Man, you select the better genes of a crop, and then you get bigger corn, basically, because corn used to be small, and then you just replant the seeds from the bigger corn.
Genetically modified.
Yeah, I guess you could call it genetically modified. I don't know. Anyway, maybe domesticating them made them bigger or for better.
Yeah, you breed out certain characteristics. you want.
Exactly, the bigger ones, and then you get better, bigger animals
Mhm.
to get food from. Who knows? I am
So
not
they
a
are
scientist.
for sure domesticated, though.
Pigs?
Pigs,
Yeah, I think so. Because aren't they
I think-
boars first,
yeah.
and then they kind of became pigs?
Exactly. Yeah, I think so.
Like those
Oh,
wild
yes,
boars
yeah.
that are invading all of Texas right now, and they're shooting them from helicopters and stuff.
No, I haven't
Yeah.
seen any of that.
Yeah, give it a Google,
Oh
folks.
yeah, and I guess the wild of that, would probably be boar. Maybe what are the things in Africa? Warthogs?
Warthogs,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure that's a distant
Oh
relative.
yeah,
of the
obviously
pigs somewhere.
javelinas in the American Southwest, like
Yeah.
we grew up with in the desert.
What are they called?
Javelinas.
No, I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
You
I
ever seen a
think so.
javelina? Or heard of
No.
a javelina? Yeah,
I've
they're
never
like
heard that word
they're
before.
probably I don't know, as big as like
How do you
a
spell it?
large dog. Javelina. We're off the tracks early, folks.
It's okay. It's okay. I was just about to get us back on track anyway. So let's get into the news, guys. It's always gonna happen when we're in person, even if it's just two of us. I think that's just gonna help.
Blake's discovered a javelina.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never even seen this thing before.
All right. Well, give it a Google search, folks, if you want to see it for yourself. We're going to head in the news here. So our first news story of the day is the fact that Dwayne Johnson has
this is my favorite.
publicly
I
said
loved this.
there's no chance that he is going to return to the Fast and Furious franchise following Vin Diesel's public plea.
Insane media post.
Yeah, insane media plea to get The Rock back and reprise his role as Hobbs in the final, well, I guess Fast 10, the second to last Fast and Furious movie. Didn't they say they're doing two more?
I think it's
Is it 10 and then 11?
Fast 10 Alpha, and then obviously Fast 10 Omega coming later.
Okay. So yeah, The Rock has said in an interview he thought it was funny, Vin Diesel's post, but yeah, he will not be returning.
So yeah, he did. He didn't do it in a way that was like made me think, they're just trying to drum up more drama to like have him come back. It was definitely like no, this was weird. He talked about, he brought up Paul Walker's death and his own children, and I don't want to come back, and I feel like it's pretty final. Like he put it to rest.
Yeah, he kind of did. I don't think if this was done in a more public way, or in just with different things said, potentially could have been some marketing stuff, but it doesn't seem like he has any interest. He's like, yeah, I talked to Vin a long time ago and we agreed this is not happening. Like, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
But then again, maybe it's just they say that, The Rock owns 10% of Universal or something afterwards, and he comes back after all or something. You never doubt the amount of money that he could generate.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't know. Are we? I know Blake's kind of done with the Fast and Furious franchise. I still will watch him.
But like genuinely, do you think that Fast 10 or Fast Omega or whatever with Dwayne Johnson in it, a full bore behind it, we are back, he's in the family, we're there, we've summoned Paul Walker's digital ghost, it looks the best that it's ever been. Do you think that could like come up against a Avengers Endgame as like one of the biggest things of all time? I'm talking globally.
Globally,
like
it would have a shot.
Like I think it might, like if they could get if they could get enough people behind it, I think it's that big enough of a franchise. I mean, I think.
All right, how much did F9 make?
Maybe Endgame's like crazy, but like a top 5 of all time. I don't think that's out of the question anymore.
Yeah,
F9.
I mean, it would definitely draw a large audience, right? Because they have 10 films to kind of back it up, and they've brought numerous actors, right, who are famous for kind of their own right. So, I mean, yeah, it would have a chance, but as far as that being a cohesive movie and like a good story that like people want to see, like I don't think there's a shot in hell.
No, definitely not at this point. But I'm just talking like as an event that people will go see at the movies.
For sure, dude, yeah. I mean, hell, we went in there and watched Fast 9.
Right.
So,
and I don't think you can.
When I saw it, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying to Adam, like, I don't know if you could use F9 as like the best comparison point at this point. I would say maybe F8 because that was the last one that had everyone in there and was like a normal, quote unquote, normal year.
But I'm not sure what F9 did at the box office. But I mean, even just like from the eye test, from when I saw it in theaters, like there was a pretty good crowd in there, like in the midst.
For sure,
700 million is what I keep seeing.
Okay,
yeah,
and that's in a pandemic year.
Right. So, I mean, that's $1 billion movie if that's not in COVID. So,
F8 did 1.2 billion worldwide, apparently.
Okay. So 1.2, that's huge, right? That's probably what?
But it said it was only the third highest grossing film of 2017.
That's crazy.
That must have been, what Marvel movie was that? That's basically what it comes down to.
I don't think there was a big one that year. Isn't 2017 Captain Marvel?
Maybe. This is
Anybody have a
in
guess of what
live
the two
research,
highest
folks.
grossing for 2017 are?
No idea.
Maybe.
That's a good guess. No.
Oh, I have the top. I have the top.
Don't tell me.
You're not. I don't think you, Blake. I'll give you your hint is the fact that you are probably the least likely person to guess what movie it is.
Oh wow.
It's got to be a Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good guess. I wouldn't know the name though. Good guess.
2017, is that Last Jedi?
Yes, it is. That was number 1.
What's 2?
Beauty and the Beast. Then Wonder Woman.
Let's go.
Then Guardians Volume 2. Then Spider-Man: Homecoming. It, Thor: Ragnarok, Despicable Me 3, Logan, and The Fate of the Furious.
Logan.
So
good movie.
It was only at the end of the year. It looked like I think it's only 10. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. I mean,
All right, so
it's still going to do a lot of money.
Furious 7 is the 9th highest grossing movie of all time.
But I think that's the
also
peak.
the year that Paul Walker passed.
Yeah, that's
away,
the Paul Walker
Or that's
year.
the film that he passed.
I think that's
so that's what
definitely
I'm saying. Like
that plays a role.
Like the last one though, if they're like, this is it, we're bringing everyone back.
No.
The family comes to a close.
It's peaked for too many people.
Okay.
It's just if they had maybe if Paul Walker hadn't died.
What if they bring him back?
Rest in peace.
I don't think they should.
What if
Yes,
they
rest in
clone
peace.
him?
But like I think that's part of why that movie did so well.
What if they bring his daughter out?
Oh God, no! I don't want that. I don't need that.
Just let the man rest.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
I'm cool.
I agree, Ty. I'm big on just
Yeah, no.
when people's time is done, just let their time be done, man. You can honor them in memories and things of that nature, but like stop plugging CGI.
Like Vin Diesel, for example. The franchise is over, bud.
Yeah.
Just let it rest.
Please. I don't want to see any more CGI Paul Walkers.
I don't want to see another one of these.
That's big coming from Ty.
I know.
He's made.
But it's because you go from
made the
like
call.
such this street scene style to what they've gone to now, and it's just and when you get movies that have this big of a long running, you lose your way somewhere down the road. No pun intended. But yeah, I think it's just this could have stopped a long time ago.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know. I just don't think either way. I don't think it is going to matter how much it makes that much. Yeah, if Hobbs is back, sure, I'm sure The Rock will pull some more people back in. But I think at this point in time where the Fast and Furious franchise is, you're either in it to go and you're going to go see it or you're not. I don't think there's much like people on the edge like, oh, the Rock is really going to make a big difference for me. People who were into this franchise and have gotten out, I don't think are coming back.
Okay.
We say it every week. Come up with new shit, please.
Yeah.
Please.
We don't need 11 films in
We're
a franchise.
begging.
I don't think there's a single thing I can think of that could do like 11 films following the same characters.
Well, I have bad news about Marvel.
Yikes. Speaking of Marvel, Morbius has been delayed.
Yeah, what the fuck? Isn't this like 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, it was supposed to be the end of the month.
This is out.
It was supposed to be the end of the month. It was set for January 28th and is now set for April 4th. This is the third delay?
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Nathaniel? I saw that headline and I was like, I wonder what Nathaniel's going to say about this.
I'm playing this sad trombone sound here just for Morbius as a concept. You know what? I was like,
When was this made? Like 2018?
who cares? That's just who cares?
What are you going to gain by delaying it?
Exactly. This is the New Mutants of 2021.
Oh, wow. That's
You delaying it again makes me not want to go see it more.
Principal
true.
photography began during the last week of February 2019.
But to be fair, January is usually where movies go to die. We've kind of had that conversation before.
True.
So maybe they were like, it might be a little better than expected. And with them delaying it, they might have time for reshoots. Like maybe they've done some early screenings and people were like, this fucking sucks.
Can they reshoot Jared Leto out of this movie?
Yeah, like, yeah. I don't know about that.
I don't know, man.
I don't give a shit about this movie.
I knew Nathaniel would eat that.
Yeah, I don't even know if I really want to review it.
I would rather watch. What was that Vin Diesel one? Bloodshot. That seemed more of an interesting character than this.
That movie looks terrible too.
Yeah, but I would rather watch that.
Debatable. It's debatable.
It's debatable.
Which says a lot.
Yeah, I really don't know if I want to see this movie. I don't.
I do want to see it now at this point. Like, I've come around on it. They've teased me enough with it that I'm just really excited for this. You know what it looks like? It looks like the second X-Men movie. Like when he's like
that was like okay.
X2's great. But
I didn't mind it at all.
But the effects look like that when he's like bouncing around. It looks like Nightcrawler jumping around and from when he's that great bit where he breaks into the White House. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
Looks like the same script, or like the script was from the same year too. Whatever that was, 2006
CGI could
or
probably
whatever.
be from the same year too.
Probably.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know.
Sony does so much well too. They're so I don't understand them as
such
a
an
company.
odd company, right? I was thinking about that before.
They're drunk.
Yeah, I went and saw No Way Home again, but a sizzle for.
It makes me feel like I'm drunk.
But I was like, Sony's making a movie, but I sell their cameras, and I've played their video games, and they have a phone, and like I'm like, what are they doing? They're doing all this stuff. It's so bizarre, but I love it.
Yeah, they're strange. They're a bunch of goofballs. Come on, Sony. What are you doing?
They're a good company, though.
Please sponsor us.
Overall, I'm pleased, you know?
You a bunch of weirdos. Sony,
you cowards.
Just kidding. I love you.
Us. Anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see when Morbius actually comes out. And we'll see if it's
actually... when is it coming out, supposedly?
April 1st. And this is allegedly due to...
April 1st. But I'll tell you what, doesn't Batman come out March...
Yeah, that's at the end of March.
17th or something like that. So that's just going to get absolutely crushed by Batman.
I mean, and I was going to say, do you guys think they're shying away now? Because obviously Spider-Man is crushing.
The main reason they gave was
I don't want to compete with that.
The main reason
they move it back, then it's just going to end up competing with Batman. It's like this movie's doomed, as Nathaniel would say.
They gave
the jump.
They gave Omicron as the main reason for the delay.
Which, of course,
they did. Of course, yeah, that's the easy answer. Luckily, we have comprehensive reading skills and we can read through lines.
Who did Sony sign with? Wasn't it Netflix? Like, at this point, just release this bad boy on there. You're going to have just as good.
They would get more, I think. They would get more viewership.
I genuinely think they would. And even with Netflix, you have an inbuilt Marvel audience there still. But there's probably some sort of non-compete there or something, maybe.
Yeah, who knows, man? I don't know.
Put it on TikTok. Fuck it.
Put it on Quibi.
Put it on Quibi.
The movie's one long TikTok video. You just watch it on your phone.
Quibi, dude.
Quibi.
That'd be funny.
15 minutes is released every week.
I would not watch that.
Imagine. Well, speaking of Netflix, we have Squid Game creator saying that he's already got ideas for season 3.
Well, he would, wouldn't he?
And he's in talks with Netflix to finalize a season 3 deal. He's in talk. Actually, I guess he hasn't finalized season 2 either, even though, of course, they're going to do it. They set it up for 1, and it got the highest streaming numbers Netflix has ever seen.
Surely it goes international in the second season, right? That's where they go with
That's
this?
kind of the idea, right? They have to go. They have to do something.
The squad games.
Squadron games.
Kraken games.
Yeah, my Papa Schwartz just
Hydra
finished
games.
watching Squid Game. Burned through all 8 episodes in like 2 days. So this was on my mind as the second season because I was talking to him about it. And I was like, I really don't think they had plans for a second season making this.
No,
first season.
I don't think so either.
And I think Netflix may have talked them into changing the ending because it does feel altered at the very last second, like almost very last second, and it disappoints me because I would have loved to just see this as like cool, one season, cool. This is just a cool little limited series, but no, everything successful must be monetized as much as possible. Squeeze that shit dry, apparently.
Facts.
So that's a little frustrating. And now that he's already talks, if he's, maybe there can be a season 3. If he's doing 2, why not do 3? At that point, just go for it. So whatever.
Could be good. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows what he's got in mind.
Anything can be good.
That is true.
End quote.
Damn.
And news.
Teacup Tyler dropping the mic there at the end for you folks.
Real quick, one last thing for the news, as long as you're done. Rest in peace, Queen Betty White.
For real.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed that in the news stories I was scrolling through today. I probably should put that in there. Yeah. Very, very sad news.
Devastating.
Especially because she was only,
crazy.
2 weeks away from turning 100?
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be
Amazing
awesome.
milestone.
Yeah.
Too
soon, I say. Too soon for Betty White.
The more incredible part is that she was like, she's all there, right? Like when you get to that age, you deteriorate pretty bad, pretty quickly.
And,
for the most part.
Yeah, she hasn't been in much, I feel like, in a few years, but
she's definitely and comprehending things.
Of course. Yeah.
She's still her smart ass, awesome. Witty kind of lady. I love her. I'm devastated.
Yeah, that was a bad way to end off 2021.
Yeah,
but imagine if it happened. Imagine having it happen New Year's Day, and just we start off 2022 with that.
Yeah, it'd be terrible.
I don't know. To me, I think it's just funny how people associate that stuff in chunks like that. To me, the year is like New Year's is sure a milestone, like it's a marker, but at the same time, it's just like that's so artificial.
Are you trying to hipster the passage of time right now and say that
I mean, I don't like New Year's resolutions because I'm like, why don't you just start that like tomorrow? Like, what do you need the new year to tell you when to start?
That's true. I mean, I hear you a little.
So like when
I think more people probably count calendars probably like just by their birth age.
Yeah,
that's the correct word.
Why don't you just treat it like this? Here, it's winter solstice, which is December 24th. Is the longest day of the year, so you can just go pagan with it and just say that that's the start of your your life cycle at that point. And
I'm not criticizing the calendar. We're in bad times right now.
He's just saying why start things on a new year when you can start up tomorrow?
Well, no, that's not. Well, that's one of my. Okay, this point is irrelevant. I feel like we're going off on a tangent. You guys aren't necessarily hearing what I'm saying. So we'll just move.
The tangent of New Year's and birthdays.
We're bantering.
There was a birthday yesterday. Does anybody know whose birthday it was?
No, I kind of remember there being a birthday, maybe, but I don't know for sure.
No guesses?
Is that someone we should know?
Friend of the pod. She's been referenced several times.
Oh boy,
Florence Pugh. That's right. It was Florence Pugh's birthday.
Yes, it was.
I saw a lot of Florence Pugh love yesterday.
Yeah,
on Twitter. So thank you for reminding me. Yeah.
Shout out Florence Pugh.
Shout out Florence Pugh.
Happy birthday.
Friend of the pod.
If you ever want to come on pod, Florence, let us know.
Yeah.
Back Row Banter pod at Gmail.
Well, anyway.
Or tweet at us.
That is it for the news. We can go ahead and jump into Adam Schwartz's completely subjective light new to streaming list for the week of January 2nd through the 8th of the year 2022. To Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu. There's not much coming there. So go back to last week's list and get something off that, because that was a long list of a lot of bangers on all three of those platforms. So there's stuff on there. It is just not new stuff that came this week. HBO Max is getting Snowpiercer, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, Euphoria Season 2 premiere.
Is this the actual season, or is this more specials?
Season 2, baby. No, they have both of those specials out from last winter, and it is the full Season 2. I think they're doing it weekly.
Oh, so they're not doing a dump?
No, they are not, which is fine with me.
Are you back in?
I'm so excited. I will be going back to rewatch the first season.
Oh,
Rewatch the
starting fresh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start fresh. So I'm rewatching the first season, then going back and watching those 2 specials that they did last year, and then I will be going into season 2. So I don't know if I'll get to this premiere when it comes out. I will likely get to it shortly thereafter, whenever I catch up. But I will be watching them week to week by the end of the season for sure. Very excited because that show's awesome and Zendaya's great. And then another season 2 premiere coming this week. The Righteous Gemstones season 2.
Oh, thank God.
We were just talking about this about 2 weeks ago at the store around Christmas time.
Oh, what an incredible show.
Yeah, incredible show. It's been since 2019 was when season 1 aired. So it's been a little bit for that one. But anyone who hasn't watched this show, it's on HBO Max. It's John Goodman, Danny McBride, Adam Devine, or Devine, whichever one it is. I always forget how he wants us to pronounce it. But who else is in that one? I'm trying to think. Those are the main.
Those are the big ones.
Yeah, there's
Walton Goggins.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Uncle Baby Billy.
Yeah, it's a great show. It's a sitcom about a family that runs a megachurch.
Yeah, The Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really funny.
Jesse Gemstone.
I'm very excited for season 2. I'm gonna probably have to if I go rewatch.
Yeah, that wouldn't be.
I'm gonna have to rewatch the first season.
That wouldn't be a bad one to rewatch either.
Not at all.
What an incredible show.
Yeah, definitely check that out if you have
funny.
not.
You know what else is that? I think Katie Sackhoff is in that from Battlestar Galactica. I'm pretty sure she's Jesse Gemstone's wife, Danny McBride's wife.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, in that as well. Yeah, there's so many funny people in that show. The lady from I'm pretty sure it's like some country band. I forget what it is, but she's the one that sings Misbehavin'. Like that plays.
Okay.
Yeah, Jennifer Nettles is her name, but I forget what like actual like country band she's a part of.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's someone like relatively famous though too, like Grammy Award winning or something. I don't know. Tyler probably knows who they are.
I would look it up, but I feel like that cast is gonna be so hard to go through to find it. So
whatever.
Anyway, go check that out. Definitely on HBO Max. Go watch the first season and then check out the second. To Disney Plus, Book of Boba Fett episode 2. And we're also getting Like Mike 1 and Like Mike 2.
Like Mike.
Yeah. And The Sandlot is coming back, I believe, to Disney Plus. I feel like it's been on there before.
She's part of Sugarland.
Sugarland. All right. But speaking of Book of Boba Fett, Ty, we're going to get into what we're watching. Have you seen episode 1?
I have indeed.
And your thoughts?
Indeed.
Share them with us because I have not seen it. Nathaniel?
I've seen it.
Okay.
I've watched it with my own eyes.
I should really get off Halo sometime and watch some TV.
If you don't know.
Yeah, you're addicted.
We're not going to talk about that right now. This is a movie podcast.
Life comes at you fast.
Yeah. That's
if you don't stop to enjoy it sometimes.
Anyway.
You might miss it.
Go ahead, Ty. Tell us about Book of Boba Fett.
I mean, first episode, obviously I'm a fan of the Star Wars universe. They obviously did a lot of like fan favors here, which I'm totally fine with, but it's just starting and they're just kind of trying to give you the lay of the land. So
it answers a big question.
I'm interested to see what happens next, but
answers a big question right out the gate, I would say.
How he survived?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, this is canon, right?
It is canon.
All right, just making sure.
Canonically, it is true.
Yeah, because I've been seeing that clip all week of Tom Oswald, or Patton Oswalt. Patton Oswalt, right? The comedian.
Yes.
You haven't seen this?
I don't. No,
his
I'm not
Parks
familiar.
and Rec filibuster, where he's describing his Marvel Star Wars crossover.
No, I do not know what you are referencing.
Oh, really? Have you seen Parks and Rec?
No.
Oh, okay. That would make a lot of sense. That's why you know that. Don't know then. Patton Oswalt has a scene in Parks and Rec where he's doing a filibuster at the town hall, and he's pitching his Marvel Star Wars crossover now that Disney has both properties, because this is back in like 2013.
Gotcha.
And so he's pitching his Marvel Star Wars crossover, and there's a line where he goes, and then we get a shot of the two suns of Tatooine. We pan down from the sky, and we see the Sarlacc pit, and a single lone hand breaches the sand surface, and the feared bounty hunter pulls himself out of the maw of the Sarlacc pit.
Well, it's pretty close to that.
And yeah, so it's like that clip being played over the intro.
That's funny.
Yeah. So some kind of fan service in that regard.
I would say probably, maybe. Yeah, that definitely feels like a reference.
Yeah, because it lines up perfectly, which is awesome. But yeah, so you have that. Sorry, continue, Ty. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I don't know if you have more to say.
No, that was pretty much it.
I'm excited. Jon Favreau written. Robert Rodriguez is, I think, directing all of the season, maybe. He definitely directed this first episode, and that was really cool.
I will get around to these, and I also have to get around to Hawkeye still, but I'll do it.
Ooh. Get off Halo.
I will.
I mean, you are like what?
He's
number
lying to you.
600 in the world right now, actually?
I'm now top 500 in the world.
That's actually impressive. Like, we should address that. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
Adam's top 500 in the world?
Yeah, but I'll check right now.
Hey, no, that's a huge feat.
Yeah, I'm number 448.
Why are you not streaming this? Like,
I'm working on it.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Whoa. I literally was working on graphics all day while at work. Sorry, Chris. You saw me doing it. It's okay. But yeah, no, I'm getting my graphics up. I'm working on it. The OBS is downloaded. We got the overlays going.
I'm trying to find a sound to scare you into doing this quicker, but I don't have one.
I was going to work on it tonight.
We already used the scary sound for
That's
spoilers.
True, for spoiler sounds. I'll have to come up with something for next week.
Okay. Well, I'll be streaming by next week, hopefully.
If you don't, think about the scary sound you're going to get next week.
Is it the cicadas?
It could be. You
we
never
should
know.
get that on the soundboard.
We'll see. Well, yeah, I'm recording that as we go. That's the new sound right now, whatever that was.
I don't know.
Tyler, what else did you watch this week?
Yeah.
Just lead us in there. Segue me.
Just run with it?
Segue me, man.
Cool. So, I had New Year's Eve and New Year's Day off. So, Leah and I actually decided to just stay at home and be bums. And
Nice.
we were very pleased with our decision. But let's see. We got into some Queer Eye, and we're going to finish that up pretty quick here. She's obsessed, and I don't mind watching it. It's a little feel-good show. So they go around making people feel good about themselves. I'm totally down for that.
I love Queer Eye.
Yeah. So we got into that. We've been getting more into Daredevil. We just got done with season 1 this evening, and I'm bought in. I have been for a little bit, but it's definitely one of the better ones that I've seen that I've actually wanted to stay invested in. Whereas like you and I got into the Flash, Nathaniel, and it's kind of died off. But yeah, Daredevil has been something that I've been very pleased with so far, and I will definitely continue on that adventure. There's always been a couple costumes that I've wanted to invest for cosplay purposes, and one of them has always been Deadpool, and this is slowly becoming one of them.
Do you like his OG one with the bandana or the actual Daredevil horned
I think it's
one
cool.
better?
It gives you a little bit of feel that origins, but it's obviously super basic. I think Rob actually went as like Gen 1 Daredevil to like
Sure.
C2E2 1 year,
Well,
or maybe it's a couple of years.
This
And
is a super.
I think it's just a closet costume that he kind of keeps just in case he needs to pull some out of his back pocket, and it's super easy.
It's always a good one.
I would way more prefer the fucking dark red with like the carbon fiber, and you get the horns in there, and
I'm gonna go
sick.
as 2003's Ben Affleck Daredevil with the the big leather DD on the chest too.
Yeah, I don't mind. I like seeing all the different variations of costumes and stuff like that. Obviously, you get a lot of that in different comic books and different series and stuff like that. So I'm always curious as to what someone's going to come up with. And there's a lot of third-party companies that have a ton of different stylized versions of different superheroes costumes, whether it's like Nightwing, Red Hood, or Robin, or anything like that. So there's a lot of cool stuff out there, but this is a cool variation. I'm glad we got to see it at the end of season 1. So locked in on that. We got to Hidden Figures, which is Beautiful movie.
I haven't seen it.
Kevin Costner.
You should definitely watch it.
What's it streaming on?
Disney Plus.
Okay, that's doable.
Yeah, so it's good. I definitely recommend that to.
Is that the
to
first
anybody
time
that,
you've seen it?
likes any? What?
I was gonna say follow up after you were continuing your thought, but was that the first time you had seen it?
Yes. So, but yeah, anybody that's any likes Black history or anything that has to do with people that don't get recognized for things that they've done. This is based off true stories and true tellings and stuff like that, and it's very, very cool, and it's very eye opening, like most movies like that are.
Yeah, I got to see that in theaters. That was one of my mom's favorites that year. Good family movie.
Oh yeah. We got to Don't Look Up.
A lot of people have
think
been
I've seen
talking
that.
about that one.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talks.
How you feeling?
So
I've watched about half of that. And I've heard a
I'm
lot
not
of
like
people have watched it.
I'm not like running out my door and like screaming off my balcony, you have to watch this movie. But if you got time, I definitely say, give it a watch if you're looking for something that you may not know that you like. And I'm sure it'll surprise you for the most part.
All right, fair enough.
Where are you at, like halfway through? You're
I
not
like
into it.
I
or
like
you're
it.
Just kinda like,
I
meh?
just heard some people does not like it at all, and I'm just like, I thought it was pretty good. Some people are like turned off by this cast, and like just like it doesn't fit the tone of the movie.
Cast?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say like they just don't like the cast.
That's
I'm like,
interesting.
yeah, I'm like, why? And I don't know. For some people,
Weird.
it seems like it's just been.
Yeah, I really.
It just like that. It just is too many people like that from like two different. I don't even know.
That seems silly.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's just a really easy way for people to cop out and say that they just don't like it instead of just saying they don't like it or they don't get it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I've seen a few people saying that, but
I saw it. I watched it this week too. I really like
yeah,
the cast.
I've heard. I've heard some good things, some strange things like that, because I also really liked the cast.
I would definitely argue the cast is one of that movie's strong points.
suits. Yeah,
I
exactly.
was gonna say, yeah, it's definitely one of the leverage points that I would say go watch it.
Well, there you have
Anyways.
it. That's a recommend.
So yeah. Leah's been into the it's not like it's a continuation of Sex and the City. It's called Just Like That. So Leah's
yes.
been watching that every week when it comes out, and I got to catch this week's episode. And not terrible. It's good writing. It's good acting. I like Sarah Jessica Parker ever since the Hocus Pocus days, so I don't mind her as yep. So yeah, it wasn't terrible. If I catch another episode, I won't be ashamed to say that I had watched it. And then of course it snowed on New Year's Day, and that means we got to our secondary tradition, which would be Frozen 2.
I was
gonna say, am I having deja vu? Is he
Yeah.
gonna say Frozen 1 again? Did he forget?
Did you watch all of the the short films that are in between the Frozens as well too? Olaf's Adventure or whatever it was, or Olaf's Day Out.
No, we've seen a couple of those. I think we've seen Olaf's Adventures like once or twice, and then we just got done with the Olaf Presents, which is also really funny.
There you go. Crazy how many years are in between those two movies.
It is pretty crazy. It's crazy how good both of them are.
Crazy how good Frozen 2 looks visually.
The water is incredible. And yeah, that's all I got. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pop it over to Nathaniel because he also watched Boba Fett.
I did watch Boba Fett, and it's good. I'm into it. I really like what they're doing with exploring the Tusken Raiders a little bit of sizzle. Yeah.
Your sound effect much better than my cicada sound effect.
That was
Thanks,
yeah.
Doug.
Yeah.
I will second that. I will co-sign that.
Yeah,
if I was
I'm
going
not ashamed to admit it. It was
use Blake's words there, or his catchphrase.
his catchphrase.
But Boba Fett. I'm excited for episode 2. I've never been a person that's like, "Oh, Boba Fett's the coolest."
Yeah.
He was his kind of allure was always something of a mystery to me, but a lot of people
he's all right. I guess.
are really into him. I'll tell you what I do like. I like that Temuera Morrison and Ming-Na Wen are both like in their late 50s, early 60s, and they're just like headlining this show. Like that's pretty dope
That is cool.
overall. You know, also both from underrepresented backgrounds, both being Temuera Morrison being a New Zealander, native New Zealander, and Ming-Na Wen obviously being from, I don't know where she's from actually off the top of my head, but of Asian descent. And yeah, it's really good. I'm really interested to it. Ready to see the next one.
Has this guy's how's this first episode, at least that's all we have, compared to Mandalorian so far? Is this kind of replacing the third season as they film that or push that back?
Yeah,
because now is about the time we'd have a third season of that. They did this instead, it feels like.
It maybe feels more like a half season than anything. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was kind of looking back on season 2 of Mandalorian the other day, and I was just like, it is just all bangers in a lot of ways. Like that was such a strong season for me, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, I feel like I did feel like enough time has passed with no Star Wars for me at this point, because I didn't watch Bad Batch earlier this year or anything like that. That like when I went back into this, I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. I didn't feel the kind of superhero fatigue. Maybe I didn't have a Star Wars fatigue the way I think I was maybe a year or so ago, or around the time of Rise of Skywalker or anything like that. So I definitely felt like this was a welcome change of pace, and was happy to be back there again.
Yeah.
And I do think a part of that has to do with the direction, too. Robert Rodriguez knows how to shoot an episode of television and action really well. So I think that is definitely a point of difference between this and some of like the Marvel movies or the Marvel TV shows, is that it's just clear that the direction is maybe a cut above some of the other stuff we've seen on those, for sure.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Are they filming it the same way as Mandalorian with the LED
This
screen?
definitely felt even more like that they are just
really?
using that screen, the Infinity screen or whatever it is called.
More noticeable? Or is it just the way it's shot?
This definitely felt like it was much more on that set kind of thing, just because it is a lot of wide shots, but it just, if you're looking at it from and you know anything about movies, it just feels like they're on a box.
Gotcha.
So I also got to Don't Look Up this week as well, and I thought it was pretty funny. I didn't, it seems to be kind of the internet's favorite movie to just beat the shit out of at the moment. But yeah, everyone seems to be so angry and just talking about it a lot. It was funny, right? And it seemed pretty light to me overall, and it was just kind of there, I don't know. I don't know where everyone's seen. I
don't think this was a movie that everyone was supposed to take super, super seriously. They kind of felt like they maybe should have.
And I guess like I do understand people's arguments against it in some ways, that there was a reading of it being kind of overtly glib in some areas, and just kind of like maybe treating your viewers as like, well, if you don't exactly line up with this movie's message, then you're an idiot. But like, just like, it's a movie, man. It's not that serious. Like, get on with your life.
It's
But I think, and maybe that's where people's like complaints of like the cast come in. They're not used to a high caliber cast being in a movie with a clear one side or another message in it, so much anymore. Yeah. So now it's kind of like, well, all these people are associated with this, and I don't like that about them. Therefore, I don't like this cast kind of thing.
And it's in a way, somewhat lighthearted disaster movie that has a message, and it's like, then you have all these serious actors in it. I think that could be what's also throwing people off.
So, but whatever. I think it's worth a watch, to be honest with you. My brother was visiting this week. We also just kind of threw Black Widow up on in the background, and that movie's fun. So still would recommend watching that.
Florence Pugh's in it.
And Florence Pugh's in it. So friend of the pod, Florence Pugh, if you're out there, email in. On New Year's Eve, some of my plans actually got kind of canceled just because of knowing various people with COVID. So I came home from work, was just hanging out here. We watched Willy's Wonderland, another Nick Cage performance. I've talked about it on the podcast before. It's pretty fun. Go watch it. Why not? And we also watched a movie called Love and Monsters. Have you heard of this one?
I've not.
It stars Dylan O'Brien. It came out about 2 years ago now, maybe. Started early of 2020, I want to say.
Okay, interesting.
It's fun. It's actually really fun. It also has Jessica Henwick, who you may know from... What was she just in? Matrix. She's Bugs.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, when did it come out? What is this? 2020. 7 years after he survived the monster apocalypse, lovably hapless Joel leaves his cozy underground bunker behind on a quest to reunite with his ex. So the whole thing takes place, I think, in kind of California. Dylan O'Brien, the world has all like reptiles, insects, amphibian crustaceans, kind of anything that's a creepy crawly that would freak you out if it was the size of a house, has been exposed to chemicals that have grown them to the size of a house. So now there's all these monsters everywhere. I think like 95% of the population is missing. Dylan O'Brien plays this kid who gets separated from his kind of summer girlfriend love, who's played by Jessica Henwick. He 7 years later finds her on the radio and makes the decision to go after her and try and find his long lost love and brave the wilderness. And it's fun. It's a cut above, it's kind of that growing up, coming of age movie, first fall in love. But I would say it's another one of those things where you watch Dylan O'Brien and go, he's kind of good at this thing. He's got a certain likability about him. I would say Maze Runner is another version of those things too, where you see him and he does well with these sort of things. So worth a watch, in my opinion. I think you can catch it on Hulu now, actually. And Jessica Henwick should be in more things. I hope she gets a big franchise, because it seems like she kind of gets very close and then gets kind of pushed out of there. She was supposed to be in Shang-Chi. But I also got to Blown Away Christmas, speaking of Queer Eye, which is hosted by Bobby Burke, and watched a little bit of that as well. Fun show. I really like Blown Away. I hope it comes back for a third season too soon. That's the glass blowing show on Netflix, if you have forgotten. Another movie that I had seen before but enjoyed rewatching was Jojo Rabbit. That's always a good one. I actually read the Hawkeye run that the new Hawkeye series is based off of. That was a Christmas gift for me. Was the kind of compendium of the Barton and Bishop run by Matt Fraction, and it's really good. Definitely worth a read if you can track it down.
How does that compare to the show? How well of an adaptation is it? Which one do you like
it's
better?
Pretty close. I would say there's probably about 70% that they kind of directly adapt, and then the rest of that 30 they are using to fit into the structure of the Marvel universe, and they do a pretty bang up job of that overall. That's something at this point that they're pretty darn good at. They've been doing that kind of thing for a long time. So, really enjoyed it. Really worth the read. It's definitely got a cool style to it. I want more Kate Bishop in the world now. So, excuse me. That was really cool. And then just today, I got to a 4-part documentary series on Apple TV Plus called The Line. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but I guess... Well, I remember seeing the news story when it came about. A couple of years ago, there was like this Navy SEAL commander that allegedly committed these war crimes in Iraq while they were trying to push ISIS out of Mosul. And this is like a 4-part documentary series about that case and that particular SEAL team and kind of what happened and everything that went on with that. It just came out in November. It's pretty crazy. Actually,
it sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's really worth a watch. Definitely a lot of twists and turns, like up until like the last 15 minutes too, and everything. one of those ones where you're like, how did this not become a bigger news story than it did? But really interesting and worth the watch. It's done by the guys that did a documentary called Going Clear, which is about Scientology, which I also rewatched this week.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, which is also really definitely worth a watch as well. But yeah, good series. And I will kick it over to Blake. What have you been watching this week, sir?
Cool. Visual guy for you all. So this is what I watched this week.
Great choice.
Yeah. So that's the Planet of the Apes trilogy. First
The
one is
remake.
Rise, then Dawn, then War. So I actually bought this at Best Buy maybe 2 years ago or so. And none of the digital codes worked, so that really sucked.
Oh, that is a bummer.
Yeah, all good. So I ended up rewatching all of these, and this is probably one of the better trilogies I can kind of think of in modern times. Kind of forgotten though. Don't hear too much about it anymore, but definitely one of my favorites. So Rise was 2011. That one's got one of the Franco brothers. I always forget. Let me double check. I think it's James, if I remember correctly. Yeah, James Franco on that one. Then they obviously rebooted the Planet of the Apes. So you kind of see their recap of that. Then I went on to Dawn, which is the second one from 2014. You kind of see this one, Caesar kind of grows up to be his own ape, I should say. And all the apes kind of live in a nearby forest. All these films take place in San Francisco. You kind of see his journey where he just kind of grows, and then they end up battling humans. Pretty good. And then the last one, basically humans are almost extinct. There's been some type of virus, and that's going to be for War, Planet of the Apes. That's 2017. Also has Woody Harrelson. And that one, friend of the pod, we reviewed him with Venom, Let There Be Carnage. And that one's pretty good. Not a lot of dialogue in War for Planet of the Apes, but still a great movie. But yeah, I mean, those are definitely one of the better trilogies I can think of off the top of my head. Up there with, especially for modern times, up there with
Yeah, especially
Dark
in
Knight.
recent years.
I'm sure a lot of people will end up putting Lord of the Rings up there and things of that nature.
The best.
Yeah, great trilogy, man. Rewatch it, still holds up.
And all
The
three of
newest
them are
one is
pretty
now
good. There's
4
not
years
really
old.
like a weak one, I would say.
I've not seen the
No,
third
man.
one.
I think the worst one's probably the first one.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think the
one's a
worst
good
one's
movie.
probably the worst.
Well, no, the second and third one are directed by Matt Reeves, who's doing the Batman.
Yep.
Oh, they are. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, obviously he's good. He knows what he's doing. Who did the first one? Let me double check. The first one is
It is a
Phone
different
Blow.
director. I can't remember off the top of my head what his name is.
I'm trying to look it up.
yeah. Of course, as soon as you need a
Directed
phone,
by
right, it doesn't load.
the first one.
Rupert Wyatt.
Yes.
Is that ringing a bell to you, Nathaniel? Yeah. I don't know what else he's done.
He's done something else that was pretty decent, if I remember correctly.
First one, Dawn or
The
Rise?
Escapist, The Gambler,
Right.
Captive State.
Oh, okay.
That's all I can kind of think of on here. But yeah, great trilogy. I would encourage everybody to watch those or rewatch them. Some very kind of deep meanings. As you know, it's not a new concept. People have seen the original Planet of the Apes, as well as there's one with Mark Wahlberg. What's like 2003 or something like that, maybe 2000. I think I've only seen that like one time.
It's
on,
Tim
like,
Burton.
TV.
Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, definitely check those out. Really good. Kind of some deep themes in there, and just overall good action, good plots. Directed really well, good shots. The CGI is awesome. They give a bunch of different characteristics to the apes. So yeah, really good. And that's all I got to. I did rewatch Pig, as that's the film we got on here today, and I wanted to give it a second shot for it being my man Nathaniel's recommendation. So I rewatched that joint last night. Yeah, that's all I got to. Ton of football. Playoffs right around the corner, so that was cool. College bowl games, that was cool.
Hyped.
So yeah, I think I'm taking the Packers to the Super Bowl, man. I told my buddy that the other day. He's from Madison. He was one of my roommates in college.
Yeah.
Diehard Packers fan. And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, man, I think I'm riding you guys to the playoffs, dude, or to the championship, I should say.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to see what we can do.
Yeah,
So,
it's iffy because you guys do lose in the NFC Championship a lot, but I don't see anybody beating you guys this year, dude.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I'm very, very excited. But yeah, you are right.
Yeah. Anything can happen in the playoffs.
Adam, what you been watching?
Not a lot because, as you mentioned earlier, I've been playing a lot of Halo.
Addicted to Halo.
Hello.
Don't use that word. Pop Schwartz is gonna get mad at me. He already is.
Papa Schwartz. It's okay. He's gonna make a lot of money.
When you're right, you're right. And Papa Schwartz, you're right.
He's top 500 in the world. In the world.
Anyway, but I have gotten to a few things. One thing I got to with Papa Schwartz was a movie called Breathless. You familiar, Nathaniel?
No.
This is, let me see what year. I think it's 1960. 1960, yes. A French New Wave film.
Oh, so you say.
Yes. Let me see if I can bring up the director and everything. I don't know how many people will.
It is a Jean-Luc Godard.
Yes. It was interesting. It wasn't. It was, so I was talking to my dad about this after the movie ended. He didn't like it at all. He thought it was pretty bad. It's only about 90 minutes, so it wasn't too much of a time commitment in that regard. But he didn't like it at all. It felt like the plot was all over the place, kind of not even interesting. And I had just finished my film history class this last semester, and we did learn about, French New Wave and how it came over and kind of influenced and started changing film around, 50s, 60s, and then into the 70s after that. And so looking at it from that perspective, I found it really interesting because you can definitely see where the things that they were doing at the time that were so different from Hollywood. And then when you have a movie like this and other movies at that time, you can then look at the 1960s and how those French films influenced what became Hollywood in the 60s and then later the 70s. Because it's just like a stark contrast from everything before 1960s. So like, early 50s and everything.
Sure.
After 1960s, where they started doing more cuts, and then you have this kind of period in the late 50s and very early 60s where these French New Wave films were coming out, and you have a lot more cuts. You have a lot more interesting fusion of dialogue in between kind of cuts, and so it's not as just like tableau shots and tracking characters throughout the room. It is a little bit more dynamic, and then you see that kind of come to fruition more in the mid to late 60s, and then, I said, into the 70s. So.
A lot more emphasis on montage, not necessarily using the exterior of buildings or, the same thing or the same location or anything like that. A lot more emphasis on editing as a storytelling device rather than just a way of relating what's happening next.
Yes. Very good way. Very, very well put. Thank you, master's degree guy.
Humble brag, don't forget.
Humble brag.
Yes.
So, yeah, I was trying to watch it from that perspective and then kind of analyzing it as far as its place in Hollywood history. And, I liked it for that, but I'm kind of with my dad. It wasn't like the most interesting film ever, but it was kind of unique.
I've only seen one Godard film. I may recommend it, actually, for you and your father. It's called Alphaville. Or Alphaville. It's a little bit more, I think, interesting. It's about kind of I'll read you the IMDb summary. It's called A U.S. secret agent is sent to the distant space city of Alphaville, where he must find a missing person and free the city from its tyrannical ruler. But it's kind of like more like a science fiction noir kind of thing.
Sounds like a Blade Runner almost. Or like a Blade Runner Total Recall.
It's cool.
Like
it's like in the 65. It's like 1965, and like it even has things like there's a little, almost like a little like Alexa device that will like announce things. And he got like a guy that had the trachea surgery when you have a smoke. So he had a really weird, almost robotic voice that would like talk to you through the little speaker and everything. It was just kind of the bunch of weird, cool little tricks that they used to make everything more futuristic in the 60s as well. But yeah, I saw that on Amazon Prime a while ago. If you're interested in a Godard film, but maybe don't want to dive into something so confronting, it sounds like, as Breathless is.
Yeah, it just wasn't anything special for story-wise, but was cool watching in that context. That's streaming currently on HBO Max if you're interested. And then the other thing I got to was also with Papa Schwartz. We went and saw Spider-Man No Way Home. my second viewing. His first, he really enjoyed it. He ended up watching the Amazing Spider-Man films, so both Andrew Garfield films before watching this one. But he as I, remember the first Tobey Maguire films so well because I watched them so much as a kid.
Sure.
And I saw them vicariously so much that he didn't feel the need to watch them either. So, but yeah, he seemed to have a good time. Really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed it again the second time. I didn't, start noticing more of the things that it feels like almost every character is almost just completely rewritten for the sake of being put together.
Sure.
And I'm still kind of okay with that because it's not so far off the mark that I'm like, this is just a different character. Like there are consistencies, and it's not every character that happens to. It's just ours, a few of them, but it does bother me a little bit. But either way, it's still an amazing time. I still love it. So, yeah, that's really all from what we're watching.
Okay.
But we can get into Pig. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Schwein.
We can get into Schwein.
Oh, it's just
welcome,
an
ladies and
unpleasant sound.
to the main review segment of the podcast. We're going to go ahead and Nathaniel's actually going to go ahead and let you know.
Will I? Okay, I will.
How the review segment works.
What up, folks? If you have forgotten, or maybe this is your first time on Back Row Banter, I said that really, really weird intonation. This is how the main review segment works here on Back Row Banter. It is split up into two different sections. There's the non-spoiler section, and then there's the spoiler section. Figure it out. In the non-spoiler section, we're going to talk to you about the general plot summary, kind of go through the film's IMDb page, give our first reactions to the movie. At the end of it, we're all going to have to decide yes or no, do we recommend this movie? It has to be a yes or no. There is no nuance on the internet, especially not this week. And then we're going to go into spoiler section. I'll play the spoiler noise. We'll give our deeper thoughts on the movie, go into any twists, turns, things we can't talk about in the non-spoiler section. But do come back to see where this ranks up on our Entropy list, which is everything we've watched for the podcast ranked. That being said, Adam, tell me about Pig.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is Pig, released this year in 2021. Was it straight to Hulu?
I think it might have had a small theatrical run.
Yeah, it feels
definitely at some festivals.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like one that's gonna have a super wide release. But it ended up on Hulu, which is how I watched it. Of course, rated R, an hour in a runtime of 1 hour and 32 minutes with a 6.9 rating on IMDb. Not terrible. But we may have some thoughts on that. We'll see. It's directed by Michael Sarnowski, who I'm not too familiar with. Nathaniel, are you?
No, this was my first introduction to him.
Director-wise, I don't really...
Looks like he's done some short films and a couple of TV shows.
Yeah.
But this definitely looks like his debut full storyline stuff.
Sure. Written by Vanessa Block and Michael Sarnowski. I'm trying to see if maybe Block has done anything that I should mention, but it does not look like it. She's only done a handful of things. Starring, though, Nicolas Cage and Adam Wolf as our two leads, I would say.
Alex Wolf.
Alex Wolf. Because I read Adam Arkin, who plays Alex Wolf's father, as the next name. So anyway, yes, Alex Wolf as our two main characters, and then Adam Arkin, Cassandra Violet, and I would say Elijah Ungvary is the other main kind of character, a repeated character. But there's not a ton of characters in this movie. It is only 90 minutes. They keep it tight, and they keep it pretty brief. The IMDb summary reads as follows. A truffle hunter who lives alone in the Oregonian wilderness must return to his past in Portland in search of his beloved foraging pig after she is kidnapped.
Yes.
That's a good summary.
Yes.
Good summary and rather interesting setup when you put it like that.
Yeah, someone originally just kind of described this film to me as a John Wick, kind of style setup.
Kind of.
And you're not wrong.
Start it.
Yeah.
But it's like...
It's also not.
So yeah, well, it's definitely not. It's not John Wick in the fact that it's like an action film like that. But I was watching the beginning of this film, and his character just kind of reminds me of Shrek.
Okay.
Like I don't know, he's
Get
got
out
a
of my
weird
swamp.
yeah, he's got a weird like buttoned up like shirt on that doesn't quite look cotton. It's like a thicker wool almost.
I think it's his underoos, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's
yeah,
his,
basically.
his flannel.
Yeah.
His
And he's just all
color.
alone in his forest cabin, just one with the woods. Almost like Shrek is with the swamp, So yeah, I think it's John Wick meets Shrek.
John Wick meets
take.
Shrek, huh?
That's my take. No, it's much more serious than both of those movies, which is good. And I'll start off. I enjoyed this. It's definitely really good. I think Nathaniel, based on what we're watching from a month or whatever, a month ago, whatever it was when you did watch this for the first time.
Yes.
You seem to like really enjoy this. You said it might be your favorite movie of the year. I'm not near that.
Okay.
I will say 9 Days and The Green Knight and even Malignant I all enjoyed more than this one. So definitely a few movies this year that I enjoyed more than this, but it is still up there for me. Still one of those movies that I would consider one of the best ones of the year. But I'm interested to see if you can convince me that it should be my favorite movie of the year.
Ooh, a challenge. Yeah, I don't know. I was exposed to this, I think, just through film Twitter at some point, or I don't know. I was just reading online at something or at some time or another. So I was mainly kind of watching it for the Nicolas Cage performance, which I had heard was very, very good, which I do think is very, very good. What
for sure.
I was not expecting was kind of the overall emotion of the story and kind of where it ended up going, and maybe some of the surrealness that was coming out of it as well too. I think I just ended up connecting with it a lot more than I was ever anticipating. I'm a person that has worked in food jobs before. I think there's a part of me that just understood that a little bit more too, and so I had a little bit more of a connection point with this as well. And yeah, I don't know. I just found it very, very enjoyable. Really, really enjoyed the performances. I think Nick Cage is definitely doing awards level acting in this overall, and found it just a very, very nice surprise overall. So
Nick Cage has had an odd career the past few years.
Yeah,
doing all sorts of movies.
One thing about Nicolas Cage is you can never say that he gives anything less than 100%. So
Sure.
he may be out there doing insane stuff, but he is not phoning it in the way I feel like your Bruce Willis's are of
Sure.
the last few years or anything like that.
Yeah, it's because he has a genuine passion for it. I think he's doing movies and stuff that he actually likes.
Yeah. I agree with you, Ty, and I was going to say that he also does that Your Spider-Man and Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Like, that was like such a cool role for him that I when I first saw it, I was like, that sounds like that might be like Nicolas Cage, but I don't know. But yeah, I think he just does things like, hey, like that looks cool, I want to do it. You know what I mean? He's not just like bullshit cash grabbing movies, and
I was about
that
to
goes
say,
a long way.
or
You
maybe
can see
I
it.
need money. I'll do it.
Yeah, he definitely needs money.
Yeah.
I guess I could be wrong.
Didn't seem like this movie had a big budget, so I can't imagine how much money he got for this one. But yeah, kind of a return of Nick Cage in this one. He's back to like a very serious role. Seems like everyone around him is taking it seriously as well. Like, this is good to see him back.
Yeah, I had a ball with this one, man.
Yeah.
I think it was such a fun kind of departure again, like from the revenge storyline.
Mhm.
The John Wicks of the world, the kind of, I don't know, that kind of trope that we've been kind of force fed over the last few years of the very kind of like capable alpha man that's like of a certain age that always has a certain set of skills or anything
Sure.
like that, like in this it was like he was a world famous chef, and it was just a different kind of take on those storylines. Like I'm always begging for something different, something out there, and a story about a guy with a truffle pig in the underground Portland food scene. Yeah, I've never seen that story before,
Yeah.
but tell me about it. And they make it a crazy revenge by Kill Bill by way of food, and I'm into that. That's nuts.
Yeah. This. Actually, I'll leave that point for spoilers. I don't want to go into that. Yeah. No. You're right. I think this is just we ask for new things all the time. This is definitely a dash of things we're familiar with, but just done in with new kind of ideas for characters, new settings, new plot, not plot points necessarily, but like plot areas of interest for the plot. Does that make sense? Yeah.
It was drama.
Yeah.
Tyler, what were your thoughts? I guess I'm talking a lot.
Overall, I was pleased. We kind of thought that this was going to go kind of like the John Wick route, and then kind of as you get a little bit deeper, you just find that there's a lot more here. Excuse me, hold on.
Pause for station identification. This is KYOT, the Coyote, smooth jazz.
We should go.
Sorry, I was kind of dying for a second. And we're back. Right. But yeah, overall, I was very pleased. I really enjoyed Nicolas Cage in this. He's obviously doing some of his top tier acting. Alex Wolff, we like him in Hereditary. I think he did a great job in this. Overall, it leaves a lot for you to kind of fill your own plot lines as far as like where you think that things are going to go and kind of why he's doing certain things, and it also leaves you a little bit curious as to kind of what his past looks like, and they don't overly elaborate on stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it definitely leaves a lot of questions, but they're not like things that are affecting the movie. It makes you look into the movie a little bit more and kind of analyze it a little bit more. And I think they did a really good job overall. So I was actually very pleased, and I am definitely a recommend.
Yeah. I'm with Ty. I mean, also as Adam said, at first it kind of starts off as you think it's some type of John Wick film, where like somebody's connected this pig and it's going to be like a big vengeance thing. And then you realize it's totally different once you start playing. So yeah, I actually genuinely enjoy it. It was much better than I thought it would be. But I guess I did have pretty good high expectations knowing it was Nathaniel's recommendation.
Sure.
But yeah, no,
the weight
I
of
was
expectation
for sure. No way around it.
Glad to hear that.
Cool. Yeah, I'm also recommend. It's a good movie, and it's only 90 minutes too. So you're kind of in and out. It's on Hulu right now. I don't know how long it'll stay on there, but definitely recommend for me. I wondered, do you think this kind of gets any Oscar type attention? Or is it too small?
I think it's too small.
I agree. Although I do think Nick Cage gives a nomination worthy performance.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think this is definitely worthy of some of that stuff. Probably won't get it.
Yeah.
I would say you're more likely to see a No Way Home than you would be to see one of these in there. Yeah. That's just the way the Oscars are nowadays, I think, in some ways. But yeah, I'm a big advocate for this movie. I would maybe I'll sit down sometime during this week and see like what my top 20 list of 2021 would be or something like that, because I don't know if it would be a number one now, but I really did enjoy this quite a bit and found it to just be a really emotional, engaging little movie. So yeah, I'm in. Definitely a big recommend for me. But I'll play the spoiler sound, Adam, unless you're ready.
No, we are ready to go. So if you've not seen Pig and you do not want spoiled for you, go ahead and check the episode description where I have marked a timestamp you can jump to where you'll be taken to our ranking of the movie. Hop upon the Entropy list.
Hop upon.
Spoilers. Shit goes down.
So some shit goes down.
As it often does. Yeah, so
as it often does.
This movie starts out in I go, okay, cool. We're in for Nick Cage as John Wick, and I'm in. Like, what is this? What is this hermit gonna do to some people. Like,
yes,
I'm ready.
Who is he?
Yeah.
What is his role? What is his particular set of skills?
Of course, the last movie I've seen, Nick Cage in is The Rock, where he's an action hero. And so I'm like, you know what? Let's go.
The Rock.
Let's go. The Rock. Let's get your pig back, man. And then you find out he's a gentle old chef who just
is he gentle?
Well, not gentle. Yeah, sorry, maybe gentle is not the best word. But he's a chef.
He's a former chef.
There's a fucking Fight Club.
Yeah, there's underground fight.
That was kind of weird. It caught me off guard because the movie wasn't like leading down any of that. The next thing I know is like he's getting.
That's one of the most John Wick parts about it. This is underground world.
Yeah, that definitely is one of those though where I'm like, if I think back to my careers or my jobs in like restaurants, that is something that you're just like, yeah, it's not that much of a stretch of the imagination. We just went through the reset there that we always go through. That was just you experiencing it in person.
Did you click
for the
back
first
already?
time. No, it starts up back into the call like that when
automatically.
Yeah, so a lot of times I'll just talk through it and just kind of keep it going.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's not too bad when you're listening back to it on the other side.
I see.
Another little pause there for you folks.
It was caught me off guard. I was like, I thought you had to rejoin it automatically.
No, it does it.
Right. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, the Fight Club does come out of nowhere. But again, if you've worked in a restaurant and have been around line cooks, not that crazy of a stretch of the imagination. But yeah, I'm in for it. It's this kind of weird magical realism universe in some ways.
Yeah, definitely. Ty, Blake, any spoiler thoughts you guys have here?
I mean, I didn't know the film would have to do that much with like grief and stuff, to be completely honest with you. Like, I didn't see that. That was a totally different just theme that I didn't really account for. And at first I was trying to figure out like what was going on. I was like, I don't know if this pig is like finding drugs. Like,
okay.
Like, I don't know. I was trying to figure it out. You know what I
Sure.
mean? But I was really interested. But I don't know. I was honestly pleasantly surprised. There's no other way. It didn't go the way I thought it would.
Yeah, it starts out and you can tell he's obviously like making the tart, the wild mushroom tart, and you can see that he has some skill cooking at least it's presented that way. And then it slowly is revealed that he was this great chef who has, after the death of his wife, it seems, has had a break with reality or moved out into the woods. And then I watched this movie with Brandon and he was confused. Do you guys think, was the pig a gift from his wife, or was it just a pet he had taken in at some point and was beloved?
I think it's a beloved pet. I never got the impression it was given from his wife.
Yeah,
I got more of the impression that it was something from his wife.
Really?
As she had passed, and that was something that maybe they had kind of gotten in together, or maybe that was something that she had kind of given to him. As she was kind of dealing with her illnesses, and that was something that she kind of like the John Wick thing. You get the animal after, and that's kind of like your remembrance of that significant other, and you can tell that he's playing that tape of her recordings and stuff like that. Right. So that's kind of like his way of kind of hearing her while he's spending time with the pig, and I kind of got the impression that was a gift from her, and that's why it was so special to him, and that's why he got so emotional when he had found out the pig dies, because of the stress levels from being taken and everything like that. So I actually did get that impression, and that is something that I think for me is one of those questions that you kind of get to interpret yourself to kind of fill in that gap, and for me that makes the emotional portion of that a lot more, and that's why you get kind of that reaction that you get from Cage.
Yeah, the writing in this is very keep it simple, stupid. What is the next thing that happens in the story? It's not a whole lot of extra exposition or anything like that. You are basically given what is happening, and you're living yourself moment to moment in this kind of guy's life, and in those moments. And there's a lot of ambiguity there that you get to kind of put together for yourself, which I think you were kind of referencing earlier, which is always a better way of engaging a viewer rather than just having them have everything explained to them, you know.
Yeah. I like when you find just how off the grid he was when he originally goes down after he's kind of jumped and they take his pig, and then he's asking for somebody at the diner. And they're like, yeah, she died like 10 years ago, you know. And his reaction is like, oh, can I use a phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see he's just like socially inept.
And yeah, I think his voice cracks at the start of it. You could tell it's like the first time he's spoken to anyone for a long time.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. I'll tell you one scene I thoroughly liked though is when he's sitting down with Alex Wolff and they're kind of at that diner and he's talking to the
other chef.
Yeah.
That was a great scene.
Just a really good conversation of just kind of like how things don't matter and we only, you know what I mean? So we only have a certain amount of time for things we care about and stuff. And just very great conversation. And like, that's a real conversation. Like as you get older, you start to understand stuff like that. And yeah, that was an awesome scene.
He destroys that guy.
Yeah.
That's also
he's like I fired you. He's like, this isn't what you're about. He's like, you're fake. This is fake. He's like, your life sucks. And that guy just chugs that glass of wine and he's like, fuck, you're right.
I kind of like that. I thought it was kind of like it was that
that's great.
That like, you know, I fired you, but it's not. I didn't fire you because you're bad. I fired you because you were burning the lasagna, and now that I set you free. Go do the thing you want to do, kind of thing. Right. You know, it's that that kind of expectation of like, just because you weren't right for this doesn't mean you're not going to be right for the thing you want to do, and you shouldn't stop pursuing it. Just, you know, it didn't work out doesn't mean stop doing what that is. And that guy spent so much time to try and prove him wrong, and then he just ended up in the exact same position again. I don't know. I thought that was a very interesting moment.
Definitely.
Overall.
Yeah, it's crazy how, like, you know, somebody on the outside can kind of see that you don't enjoy something and you can't quite see it because you're so involved with trying to make things work because you think this is what it's supposed to be like. And he's like, yeah, you know, I got rid of you because you're supposed to be doing something else. And he saw that before he even knew. And now, like you said, he's just kind of stuck in that same cycle.
Yeah, this movie has a lot to say kind of about what it is you really should value in life. Because you have Nicolas Cage living as a hermit on his own, you know, and very content it seems, and then his the other main character of the movie, Alex Wolff, is almost the complete opposite of that. Lives in the city, loves his items, loves his status, loves his money, and has stuff to prove in his own right, with his dad and everything. But you go through this movie and you see Nicolas Cage kind of show him like, this car doesn't mean anything. Like your status doesn't mean anything. Who you're seen with doesn't mean anything. Like, what is important to you? Mm-hmm. And you kind of go through that and you realize everything that Nicolas Cage's character has gone through. Yeah, that's made him realize that. And you know, he lost his wife, and then he kind of shows that to other people. Alex Wolff, then that chef, then Alex Wolff's father, like with his wife, and then you kind of see he lost another thing he cared about, his pig, but he's going to, you know, obviously
keep on living,
keep on going. Yeah.
The gut punch of the scene where he recreates the meal for the family, and it's their one happy memory, and you know, you get that kind of delicious revenge moment, you know, and not in the way that you're expecting as a viewer, and then it's non-violent, it's not this thing, but it's this perfect emotional kind of, you know, attack. And then that second gut punch of the same moment of realizing that your villain hasn't been necessarily doing the most villainous thing in the world. He's trying to protect him in some ways too, and that the pig has died, and so he was just offering to buy him off in a way, just because he's so embarrassed of what's happened. And it's a very poignant moment, I find, in this kind of you know, very, very sad, but then, you know, again, Cage grieves for it and then kind of moves on and lets that anger go. And it was just I don't know, I just found it so anti what I was expecting, and kind of in such a smart engagement of my emotions as a viewer and my own expectations as a person who's seen movies before and everything, and just all of that. I think it all added up to just a really fun, and I think as we've kind of referenced quite a lot, it has the power to take the viewer by surprise in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I love the way that it shows you how powerful food is too. You know, whether you realize it or not, at some point you will have a memory that is related back to a smell of something that like your loved one who maybe you have lost at some point, and you'll have that smell of something that they made, and it'll bring that emotionality back to you. And whether it's smell or taste or whatever it is, that meal will come back to you and it'll hit you. And it's very surprising how powerful food can be for moments like that. And I think that was a really cool way to kind of, like you said, deliver that kind of gut punch at the end there and be like, well, I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just trying to, show you that you're obviously hurting inside because you lost your wife too. Right. And you've taken something very important away from me.
Yeah, there was so many smart little decisions that they made too in this story in terms of a tight storytelling process that I enjoyed. Like, I love the detail of Alex's character saying, "Oh no, my mom died," and then it kind of being revealed that she's either in a coma or some sort of non-ambulatory state or anything like that, just added great touches of little depths to a character that at the start you were clearly just like, he's almost a meme. He's dressed like Salt Bae. He's out there driving the car, the Mustang Charger through the mud Mustang, and everything. And it just was. It was a movie that set your expectations in every step of the way, was either in direct confrontation with those or were skewing them enough to just really keep you interested and keep you involved. And definitely going to be up there at the end of the year for me, or I guess now at the end of the year for me. Yeah. So we'll see. Any more thoughts around for you guys?
Yeah, there was some great shot choice and directing that isn't over the top in this movie. Like, nothing is super standoutish or anything, but there was a lot of good shots. I felt like that were just kind of more subtly really good, and they don't want to take away from the story and distract you with the directing. And I think they do a great job of that. One shot that did stand out that I really enjoyed was the beginning when Nicolas Cage is attacked in his cabin. Yes. And he's slammed by the door, and the camera follows him as he hits the ground, and they do it again when he gets back up and gets hit with the pipe or bat or whatever it was. And they just slam it down to the ground. Those are the kind of shots where I go, damn, that was awesome to watch. And then I immediately think, how did they do that?
Yeah, of course.
And I've thought about that more and more as I've done more film classes, and then also started creating some stuff like that with a camera and doing more film production stuff. I go, how the fuck did they do that? So that was definitely one of those shots. And then throughout the rest of the film, great cinematography. As we just had it on in the back, it's so quick it already kind of finished. We started it when we started recording, but just watching it, the great color choice too. The movie looks great, especially that Oregonian forest at the beginning, because we saw that, and we saw it was antlers, right? Also kind of in the same northwest.
Yeah, Pacific Northwest area for sure.
Give us more of that. Oh man, I'd love more of that.
That is a good area to shoot movies. They all look good.
Yeah. That's kind of one of the only other things I wanted to say about it. I don't know if Blake, Ty, you guys have anything you want to add?
I've pretty much said everything that I have thoroughly enjoyed about this movie.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have too much else to add. I mean, like I said, it was definitely it starts off different, and I think that's really good when movies do that, right? And it's not predictable. And that kind of what caught my attention. And another reason why I do like this film, outside of that, is runtime. I'm also tired of sitting and watching movies for 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I was like, oh, an hour 30, cool. You know what I mean? And I can gear up for this.
As our attention spans get shorter and shorter because of social media, movies feel longer and longer. And it sucks.
I don't know the last movie I saw that was this length. You know what I mean? When you look at Spider-Man, The Matrix.
It's probably Carnage.
And then, I guess. Yeah, No Time to Die and all that. All those movies are 220, 230.
Yeah.
And it was just really refreshing to see this for an hour and 35 minutes or whatever it is. And
not every movie has to be 2 hours.
It holds weight. So that goes to show that you can still hold weight at an hour and 30
Definitely.
movie.
Yeah, I thought it was just a really good example of what an indie movie should be.
Sure. Yeah.
Good runtime, great star, tight writing,
Doesn't
really competent directing, not trying to go overboard with a bunch of crazy shot styles, just tells a clean, effective story. You're in, you're out. Boom.
and I'm sorry, I forgot the name already. Michael Sarnowski is clearly shown he's got some kind of talent with him to tell a story like this, and hopefully he can put this in festivals and get more funding and see what comes around next time.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it here for the spoiler segment of the podcast. So we're going to go ahead and rank Pig up upon the Entropy list. For those of you who do not know, the Entropy list is Back Row Banter's official list of every movie we have reviewed, regardless of genre, regardless of anything else, all on one fantastic list. This is essentially how we rate our movies, rather than out of 5 stars, out of 10, whatever it is. We throw up all the movies we review on one list and see how they compare to one another. If you'd like to reference the Entropy list for yourself, you can do so by checking the episode description, where it is linked to my Letterboxd. Number 83 upon the Entropy list.
83.
Yeah.
Next milestone, I guess, is going to be 100, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Which we should, what would that be by?
Well, before we took those 2 weeks off, we said like middle of March, so I'm guessing like April 1st. Morbius for episode 100.
Morbius.
No.
Imagine.
Please no.
All right. I gotta take a sec. I don't know where could this go for me. It's gonna be, I think, pretty high overall.
Definitely top half.
I did enjoy this quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I did enjoy this quite a bit. I have a ranking.
Go for it.
30. Right below Weathering with You and above Paid in Full.
Okay.
Not too high, but it definitely respectable, you know? When I think of Weathering with You, that's just a movie that I really, really enjoy, and that's probably more of a personal thing. I don't think other people enjoy it as much as I do. And then what I look at below that, Paid in Full. Definitely enjoyed that movie, but this just had with that 90-minute runtime, Nick Cage, like this movie was more up my alley than a Paid in Full was, I think, and that's just more personal for me. Paid in Full is still a great movie, but I think between me liking Weathering with You so much and then Paid in Full being what it is for me, I think that's a good spot for my ranking. What about you guys? Anyone got one they want to fire off?
Yeah, I'll let it rip. I'll go ahead and break up this 4-movie bunch of horror we got from 35 to 38.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to go ahead and put this at 37.
37. So below Last Night in Soho and above Halloween. Okay.
2018. Yeah. And I'm big on Halloween 2018.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is good. I do like Last Night in Soho though. Another kind of art house film. Sure. But that has horror elements in it, so that's what kind of sold me on that. But yeah, I think it's a good place. Overall, I do like Pig though.
I was just thinking about Halloween Kills the other day. That's just a crap movie.
That was a letdown. I hope Scream isn't like that. Like that was a huge letdown.
That was so disappointing.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ty, you got a ranking on there?
I don't know. I kind of want to let you go first.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be much higher than both of you folks for sure. Looking at the list, I was like immediately, where is the newest movie and like what's the highest of it, I guess. So for this year, obviously that's both Green Knight and Dune.
And Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yes. Over all 3, 13, 14, and 16. I think overall, I don't think I'm that high on it in terms of the list or so. So I'm going to drop down. Then I was kind of thinking about, revenge movies, and I've talked a lot and kind of compared a lot to the Kill Bills. I don't think they're quite that high as the first one for me. But I don't think it's as low as Kill Bill Volume 2. So I think I'm going to go with it at 21. Right above The Conjuring, right below Kill Bill Volume 1 for me.
Yeah.
I like it.
Good spot.
All right, Ty?
I was actually going to put it right there.
Boom.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, I was when you started saying 13, 14, and like 16, I was like, well, I'm definitely not that high on it, but I definitely wasn't as low as on you guys. I definitely like this better than Last Night in Soho. I definitely like this better than Malignant. I definitely like this better than Doctor Sleep. And kind of, just keeping along with that. I was actually gonna. This isn't. I don't think this is Kill Bill-esque tier quite yet. But I was gonna put it right at 21.
All right. Well, averaging all of our scores out, we have 27.25, so we can tie break it here with Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, which I had to guess, was probably.
Those might be pretty close.
I was gonna say
probably like a 6 point something.
I mean, this is
Tokyo
6.9.
Drift is
6.9.
Ooh, Tokyo Drift.
I thought Pig would be like a 7.4.
Tokyo Drift coming in at 6.0 on IMDb, so Pig takes it.
Let's go.
So Pig will be slotted then at 27, below Kill Bill Volume 2.
Well, there you go.
Above the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Cool.
Cool. I feel good about that one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Solid spot.
Good spot.
Solid spot.
Dr. Sleep is high though. Now that I start looking at this,
Dr. Sleep is a tad bit high.
I like Dr. Sleep. I'm still.
I like it too though.
Yeah, I'm still for it.
I think Requiem for a Dream is a tad high.
I agree.
Well, it's still Judas and the Black Messiah for me. It's still the one up there that I constantly am just like I get a little cringy at.
Yeah, but that's so good. I mean, Daniel Kaluuya carried that. Jesse Plemons, Lakeith Stanfield. You can't remember the cast there. Those are some heavy hitters. It's not. Yeah, it's not.
And
the
I know how
greatest thing
Nathaniel feels about it, but E2 Mama Tambien is a little high for me too.
I need to rewatch that after I've gained all my film knowledge. I really do. I think I would enjoy it so much more.
It's a good one. You need to check out Roma too.
Yeah. A lot.
Did you say Rona?
Yeah, check out the Rona. Just kidding, you already have. Roma, great movie. Alfonso Cuarón is on Netflix.
All right, well, that'll do it for our review of Pig, ladies and gentlemen. It is slotted there at 27. Schwein. 27. Our next review is going to be Scream, the original, in preparation for Scream V. Scream.
Long time coming to put this movie on
Scream
here, man.
1, what year is that?
96?
96. I have yet to see it. This will be a first time watch for me.
Have you seen Scary Movie?
No.
Okay, good. Okay. I'll say I think that might kind of shy how you see Scream.
Yeah.
That will absolutely skew your viewing.
For sure.
This is currently streaming on Peacock Premium. Ty.
Let's go.
Maybe you want to hook
I
up
also
that.
have it on Vudu.
Oh, you have it on Vudu. Oh, that works too.
So yeah,
I was going to say, Ty, you want to sauce that password, but I already have Blake's, so collecting them all. We should create a spreadsheet with all of our passwords. Sounds like to bank accounts too.
Allegedly.
So Scream next week. Nathaniel, Back Row Banter. Do we want to?
You could do. Back Row Banter has visited.
Yeah, Back Row Banter's back. Of course, he couldn't miss this Christmas. Blake and Ty, what are the odds you guys are here next week? Do we want to save it for next week, or do you want me to open mine and then?
I work throughout next week. I don't have my normal days off because I am off like later in the week for like a week and a half. So that should be okay because I'll probably just make it work after work.
Sure. I think I work next Tuesday, but with us getting off at 8, I mean it's a little bit easier to stomach, especially if I don't have an early meeting on Wednesday. Like I do tomorrow, then I should be fine. I can just come over after work.
All right. Why don't we just wait for next week then?
Am I here next Tuesday? What's next Tuesday?
It would be the 11th. Today is the 4th.
Because I do have to travel next week. Okay, no, we're fine. I have to travel the 12th. So that probably should work. So that's fine.
All right. Well, let's just save it for next week. Worst case scenario, I'll probably be here, and Ty, it sounds like we'll probably be here.
Sure.
And then we can at least get 2 of the 3, and then Blake, you'll get yours. We can maybe open it and then give it to you at the store, whatever happens. I don't know. Or at least tell you what you got. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So Back Row Banter, my Christmas got delayed to this Saturday, so, it makes sense. Banta's coming next week, I guess.
Yeah.
Banta Fada.
Yeah, he doesn't follow Christmas per se. He's Back Row Banter. He's not Santa.
That's true.
Yeah, we can make our own holiday.
And there's a lot of houses.
There's so many. Too many people to enjoy.
Yeah, he doesn't actually use a sleigh. He just uses
He comes through your Roku.
he uses a cannon.
He streams.
He
through
does
your
use a
Roku and
cannon.
he appears. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, look forward to Back Row Banter, I guess, next week. 5-star review, Nathaniel.
Yeah, I'm gonna do 2 because we've been putting it off for a while.
We got a good crop going, so
we do.
Yeah.
So best way to hear something you've read out on the pod is to give us a 5-star review. If you give us a 5-star review, I'll read it out on the podcast. That's basically the better way of saying that. It's fun. It helps us out. Just got to be 5 stars, otherwise I won't read it. So with that being said, here's some 5-star reviews. This is one we got recently. Says, great pod, 5 stars. 5-star podcast, awesome collection of movies spanning across all genres. And that's true. We have put in kind of a lot of effort, I'd say, overall, to have a pretty good selection from a bunch of different genres. So thank you, SDW47. We do appreciate that. It's as simple as that, folks. Listen to this. We got another 5-star review as well. This is from Tyler P. Calhoun. Thank you, Tyler. It says, listen to this. 5 stars. This podcast is dope, and I loved listening to it. I enjoyed the casual conversation and side talk about the movies. The new Spider-Man looks crazy, and I'm excited to see what people do when they realize that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Spoilers. Just kidding. Also, Zendaya appears in the movie again, and you can't beat that. Keep up the great work, boys. True, Zendaya is nice to look at, so that's all right. And
Euphoria season 2.
Yeah,
coming to HBO Max.
True, that's what it is as well. But thank you, folks. Give us a 5-star review. I will read it out on the podcast. Can be mean, can be funny. Both of those were pretty neat. Sometimes they ask things like that or talk to us a little bit. But you can say whatever you want. Just don't be evil, and it's got to be 5 stars. So that being said, Adam, what other plugs do we do? Is it plug time now?
It's plug time, ladies and gentlemen. So please share the podcast. That's how we grow. It's been a while, listeners, since I've talked right at you like this about sharing the podcast. Numbers pretty stagnant recently, which is fine. At least we're not going down or anything. We had 2 off weeks, so a little dip there. But
hey, we've got a core group. We like you guys. We love you.
Yeah, no, and it's great, and we're gonna keep doing it for you because that's all we need. We don't need a ton of validation to do this. It's more of a, as you said earlier, it's a passion thing.
It's casual.
Yeah, it's a casual passion thing. But of course, we would love for this to grow, and we cannot do that without you guys. So please share with a friend, family member, really anyone you see walking down the street that has a pair of headphones on. You go, hey, those listening devices, they can play podcasts too, and they go,
true.
Really? I've never even known that. Yeah, and you know what? You're on Spotify right now. Look up this show. It's called Back Row Banter. You seen Spider-Man recently? Yeah, they have a review for it. You seen Matrix recently? Yeah, they have a review for that too. It's awesome.
We do.
There are a lot of Nicolas Cage fans out there, and they may not know about Pig.
They should.
But you can always give them this and say, listen to these boys. The Back Row, and they'll banter.
Yeah. They'll banter, yeah.
Does that mean we're going to have to put Ghost Rider on here?
Dude, low-key Ghost Rider.
Speaking of Ghost Rider.
Flames.
Have you guys seen Norman Reedus being rumored to take Ghost Rider?
I have seen that rumor,
and that's fantastic casting.
It is a good cast, isn't
it? It's fantastic. We'll see if that happens. Yeah. We'll see if I even care about the MCU by the time they make a Ghost Rider movie. TBD.
I like Ghost Rider.
I do too. I honestly... I remember watching those movies as a kid.
So long.
I haven't seen them since I was a kid, so I can't really say if they hold up at all or not. But I remember them being fun at the time.
I know in the second one he pees fire.
Don't know if I saw the second one actually. I think I might have only saw the first one.
Which is what's weird is
I don't remember that, but I definitely could believe that.
That's not the only time that directors used the image of a character peeing fire. He also directed one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Okay.
And in that movie, Freddy is resurrected by a dog coming by and peeing fire on his grave. So apparently kind of a thing with that guy. So There you go. There's your little Hollywood tidbit for the week, folks. 5 stars and share the podcast for more Hollywood tidbits.
There you have it. You can follow the show on Twitter at Banter Row, on Instagram at Back Row Banter Pod, and on YouTube. We're just Back Row Banter. Please go subscribe to us there. Even if it is not your primary place of listening, then for any questions, comments, concerns, grievances, anything of that sort, send them to backrowbanterpod@gmail.com. Release schedule really quick. We probably should have brought this up at the top of the show, maybe. I think we're going to try to switch our release day every week on Wednesdays.
Yeah, it's only been about 3 months.
Yeah, so we started this podcast uploading on Tuesdays with recording on Sundays. Then at one point we kind of started recording on Mondays. When I went to school really last year, I feel like we started recording more on Mondays instead of Sundays. And then we'd still get them up for Tuesdays. And then this past school year, since I've been back to school, it didn't intentionally happen, but it was like, oh, we got to record Tuesday this one. We'll delay this one week. Then 4 weeks in a row happened. Where it was like, okay, well, cool. We're recording on Tuesday and we're uploading it late. Yeah. And then we've recorded Tuesday for almost every single week the past like 3 months. And so we decided, you know what, Wednesday is going to be the best time to put it up, because then we have the flexibility of recording Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. And then everybody, all y'all listeners, know when to expect the episodes, which is going to be Wednesday, sometime on Wednesday, most likely up by Wednesday morning, so you have it for your drive to work, whatever it is. That is going to be the plan going forward. It is always subject to change, and we will always keep you updated on Twitter first for episode delays and schedule changes, anything like that. Twitter is going to be a place to keep up to date there. BlakeHolder, where can the people find you at, my man?
Yes, sir. Letterboxd, BlakeHolder. I'll be on there logging some stuff, writing movie reviews. I think I'll have something for Scream. I've been kind of saying that the past few weeks, and the time has finally come where that movie's now on the docket. So we'll see how that goes. That's one of my top movies. So pretty excited to see what Adam thinks of it, with it being his first time. So,
well, yeah, we haven't done a horror movie in a little bit. We had a long string where it was like 3 months where we did horror movies pretty often.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last horror movie we did. I can
probably Malignant.
Antlers.
Antlers, definitely. Yeah, so it's been about 2 months, and we usually do horror more often than that. So we'll drop this here. We'll drop Screen next week, and maybe take even more of a break, because I feel like we have been the Entropy list is heavy horror.
True.
Maybe we should still keep spreading.
Can't tell you why though, but it is.
All right. Anyway, done with your plugs. Pass it on.
Good.
Popcorn.
What about
Ty? Hey guys. You can find me on Twitch on most days. That's twitch.tv/ultrabajo87, and Letterboxd, Twitter, and Instagram are all Tyler Vidalis, Vidales. Nathaniel?
That was one of the best jokes in Don't Look Up this week, is Timothy Chalamet introduces himself with his Twitch handle at one point. And, really,
I didn't get to that bit, but that sounds fucking hilarious.
It really got me going. Yeah, it's very funny. You can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Ennis Gingrich, on Instagram at NathanielG92. Sandpiper Taste, other podcast. Probably going to be doing some more stuff with there actually relatively soon. I've been brainstorming a little bit of stuff, so that would be cool. Really need to get my Twitch stuff going soon. I have a big computer that I do not use nearly enough. So yeah, hopefully check that out soon. Adam, Mr. Number 500 in the world.
Hello. You can find me on Twitter at Aish24, on Letterboxd at Aish, and soon to be on Twitch, twitch.tv/Aish. I've been working on getting the stream back up, graphics refreshed a little bit, and I got to figure out my settings, because my PC not powerful enough to run Halo and stream at the same time. So I'm gonna have to lower my settings on both the game and the stream, but I'll get something going. We'll figure it out. We're rolling.
Should you get a jitterbug? Would that help?
Jitterbug.
Jitterbugs give me nightmares, man. I dread every single customer that is above the age of 60 because I do not want to have to help them with a jitterbug phone. Those interactions are always a minimum of an hour and a half to 2 hours, because you have to show them how to make a phone call and then add a contact. Like, I can't. I like, ma'am.
Over 60 though? 60's not that old, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you think Betty White could have used R.I.P. Betty
That's
White?
Do
you think she's
Betty
going
White had an
jitterbug?
iPhone for sure.
She for sure.
Fuck out of here. No
she for
way.
sure had an
Betty
iPhone.
White.
Yeah, I don't know if
she was the one who used it. She probably had like some, assistant.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. If she was able to use one, that's actually really funny.
My grandma's got an iPhone.
And she's like able to operate it?
Yeah.
How old is your grandma?
70.
Oh, okay.
76, 77.
I could believe that. For sure.
Oh man, we're losing it late here.
Yeah, we are. Find me on Twitch. I'll be live some point this week for sure. So yeah, catch me there. Thank you all for listening, especially if you made it this far. You're my favorite type of listener, and we really do appreciate you. Join us next week for our review of Scream, and we'll BRB.
Hey, be excellent to each other, and we will BRB.
Thanks for stopping by. Please like, comment, subscribe. Do whatever you got to do to help us grow. We greatly appreciate it, and we definitely appreciate you stopping by, whether it's now or in the past or in the future, or if it's with your pig. And just be good to one another. Spread that shit. You never know what someone's doing or how they are in their day or what their journey looks like. So yeah, keep that going, and we'll BRB.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for the support. First week of the new year, so make sure you got all the right habits and keep them rolling for the rest of the year. We'll BRB.
America. Ready for another lesson.
Adam, you're also obviously welcome to anything in the house. There's a lot of leftover pizza in the fridge. If you want any of that.
Where's the pizza from?
What did you say, Waz?
Rosati's.
Ooh.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, it's Rosati's, so it's not bad.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with Rosati's, man. That's my favorite thin crust for sure.
Yeah, but I might have a little bit after we record. I don't want this to go too late, so I feel like we should just get it started soon.
Okay, yes,
I don't know, because if I go get pizza, I'm gonna hold this up for like another 10 minutes.
You're right. I get it.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
I appreciate that.
Have we,
and like I said,
have
my
we
tea's
had
up
the
on it
discussion
after.
on deep dish pizza?
I don't know. Have we?
That'd be
What do you
good.
guys-
Start
what do you
it
guys
because
think?
it'll be a good.
I'm
Post-pod stinger.
I'm definitely pro deep dish pizza, and I advocate for it heavily when I go to school. Even though it's not my favorite type of pizza, I do enjoy a good deep dish pizza.
Yeah. I think it's the Chicago in me, but yeah,
Yeah.
I like deep dish. Going elsewhere and getting it is kind of iffy sometimes.
Oh, definitely. I don't plan on getting deep dish anywhere outside of Chicago.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless someone like tells me it's good and I have to trust their pizza opinion, because like if someone from Missouri tells me a deep dish pizza is good,
Yeah,
especially
no
if they
way.
haven't been to Chicago, I go,
Yeah.
you're okay.
I'm anti deep dish.
Anti deep dish. You're not from Chicago.
I'm not
so that would
anti
make a
deep
lot of
dish.
sense.
I do appreciate it, but I will always take a thin crust over
Yeah,
anything.
me too. No,
Really?
Yep.
it's something I kind of have to be in the mood for. Yeah, but I do enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
When I go, like if someone's like, oh, let's do deep dish, I'm like not really that opposed most of the time.
Yeah.
But I will always, my go-to is usually just default to thin crust, of course.
Sure.
And I
Do you
said
guys
though,
prefer like Giordano's over Illuminati's?
I think they're
or-
all good. You know, people who like are so, you know, opinionated when it comes to that stuff. Like I think they're all pretty good. I like Illuminati's. That's when I would say most
Adam
often.
is
just
pro
'cause it's-
pizza.
I'm
ladies and
very
gentlemen.
pro pizza.
He's a centrist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People get mad at me about my pizza opinions at school. I got to Mizzou and I was like, oh, y'all actually eat Domino's.
Hey man,
That's how I felt when I went to Minnesota.
You
too.
hating on
Like, they're like,
Domino's?
"Eat
No,
pizza."
I don't. Now that I have to have Domino's often because I'm in college, it's cheap and you can get there's some stupid coupon where you and 3 friends can eat and you pay $5.
Oh, if you
a
ever
piece.
pay full price at a Domino's,
Yeah.
you
it's
deserve to be
crazy.
shot.
It's crazy how much you can get for like $20. And
Yeah, dude,
so
that's funny, Adam. I felt the same way
Yeah,
when I went to
yeah.
Minnesota. And like my friends were like, let's get pizza. I'm like, a lot of my roommates were like from Minneapolis and
yeah,
stuff.
sure.
And it was like Domino's. And like at first I was like, you're fucking insane.
Yeah,
You never
right?
Eat that.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, I'll starve before you give me that. I'll eat a PB&J.
And I'll eat it now, and it's fine. Like it can be good,
Dude,
but
it's
just
terrible.
Yeah,
Tastes like
at the end of the day,
but like
it's
of the
better now,
fast
actually.
of the fast food
And they have the
pizza
hand
joints,
tossed.
it is easily the best.
Yes, that
No
I'll
way,
agree
Papa
with.
John's over
Dude,
that.
no, Papa
I
John's
don't know,
is
man.
garbage.
If you guys haven't touched Pizza Hut in a while, you're not doing yourself any favors.
You know what? I'll make
I haven't
an
had
exception
pizza
for
in
that.
years,
I'll actually
dude,
agree
bro.
with you there, Tyler. I haven't given Pizza Hut a chance in a while, so I can't make that call. But I'll say the family restaurant Domino's I will put up against
Domino's.
Papa John's any day of the week. And I don't even like pizza that much. But
Okay.
Oh, I
A little
love
family
pizza.
joint's kind of different though. You know,
that will always be like number one. Like
Yes.
Rosario's
Yeah.
around here is like, I don't even know if
Well,
that's a
my-
family joint,
my-
but that's just like a really good pizza place
My
around
mom's
here.
brother and
Sure.
sister, my uncle and aunt have a pizza shop apiece. That's called Ginorio's. And
There's two of them. As in
there's
like
two of them. Yes, there's one in Winfield and there's one in Lombard. That's very good pizza.
Yeah. I
Oh, yeah,
don't know,
flip
man.
them.
I think I'm taking Papa John's and all his racial slurs.
Dude, Papa John's is just garbage.
That's some good bottom tier pizza, man, if you ask me.
No, it's just you just like the garlic butter. That's what I'm gonna say. Or that garlic sauce or whatever it is that they have. That's like the only good
I
thing
also
out of
will
that
say
Papa
the cinnamon
John's.
twists from Domino's. Very good. Very good.
I agree.
There's a Pizza Hut out by you guys over by that Target. Do yourself a favor and order from there, and you get back to me.
What do you do? Just a thin crust, or do you do like
Whatever
this-
they're
this
like
commercial?
hand tossed or like pan pizza or whatever the shit it is. I don't really know what it is, but
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it's spot on.
All right, yeah. I haven't had pizza in a minute, but I'm sure somehow, some way, I'll find it eventually again.